Politics is not entertainment where you have a bunch of like different actors in the politics sphere that you like. Like, I like Bastiat. I like Destiny. I like Vaush. No, dipshit. That's not what politics is about, you stupid face. It's about trying to exercise power. And my politics is a socialist politics, which means I want to exercise power for the benefit of the worker, the disenfranchised, the minority, the poor.
So this is Mike from PA. Central Committee is going through a docs list of what are scabs. Now, a scab is if you have a strike and somebody else works, then you call that person a scab because they're like breaking the strike, basically.
Is ostracized from every union pilot. If they find out you're on this list, they will do everything they can to hurt you and your career, to exclude you from every social function, to prevent sharing a cockpit with you, to prevent working with you.
There was recently a day off Twitch. And I think even Hassan participated. I don't know if he just took a day off and said it was, or if he actually like wanted to do this or what. But Hassan does this day off Twitch thing. Mike knows about it. But guess what happens when Mike finds out that Hassan is taking a stream off? Mike from PA, generally he streams right until Hassan streams, and then he shuts his stream off. So notice how Mike will stream as a Hassan waiting room, and then as soon as Hassan turns his stream on, he'll shut his stream off because he starts to lose viewers. And then he like sends people over to Hassan, right? So if we look at the, I don't know if this is in UTC what, but it looks like he streams until maybe 6 or 7, probably about 6:30 every time he streams. Well, on the day that Hassan takes off that hashtag day off Twitch, Mike is out here with like a fucking 7-hour stream. He streams way past his normal time. Unironically, scab breaking. And the funny thing is, somebody actually tries to call him out on this. And then Mike tries to play stupid. Roe v. Wade overturned, abortion's legal in Texas, Biden speech on full U.S. withdrawal, hog watching, MAGA copium. Okay? Andre, that one dipshit guy that we argued a long time ago, okay, comes out and says, why are you streaming? And he's like, is there a reason I shouldn't be streaming? The Quarantine guy, yeah. And then he says, a day off Twitch, and Mike's like, oh, what organization is that? Because the day off Twitch people don't have enough clout for fucking Mike to care. I'm sorry, real quick. Just in case you guys didn't know this, Mike is actually doing what would be considered the worst, most scabbish type of behavior. Not only are you working during a strike, but you're trying to pick up what other people weren't doing while they're striking. Like, it is actually, like, you can say that some people working during a strike because they have to feed their family is one thing, or because they really need the hours or whatever. But to have somebody come in when other people are on strike and be like, you know, everybody's out of the office today. I can actually do all the overtime. I'll pick up all their fucking work. To do that is actually the most scabbish behavior. Yeah. Picket line. 3 affiliates said not to stream. That's a picket line now. I've literally seen nothing for this Twitch boycott. What are the demands? Who are the leaders? How are they selected? It's not a strike. There is no proposed bargaining unit. I'm frustrated because it's not a real movement. It's about clout. And streamers really need collective action. Looks like everyone streamed today, KEKW. Told you guys. That's what I said. It isn't actually a strike, by the way. It's some random people with no clout and who barely stream, trying to get retweeted. I stream more in a week than the people who organized it do in a year. Anyway, I can stream in an hour if you guys want. Why the hell would I do that? I like having a weekend day off rather than some dumb fuck Wednesday. Scab would imply that there was some sort of union or collective bargaining happening, or collective action happening, that had a democratic basis. Also, quite frankly, I do this for a living. Those people don't. I like how he pretends if he takes like one day off, it's gonna fucking break the bank. Bro, what do you spend your money on? Holy shit. Oh my God. You know, I can tell, no economic demands at all. Telling me to strike, flex my economic power, and then there are 0 demands to improve my economic situation, really cool. They stream for less than 150 hours in a year. They literally aren't actual streamers. I took the morning off to see if there was some big action happening, but I have to say, they didn't organize, and I'm not going to take food out of my mouth unless we are really working towards some permanent structure for streamers. These social media posts led efforts are cringe and counterproductive. Revolutions in union organizing is a practical tactical effort, firmly grounded in reality and full of pragmatic efforts. I saw none of that, including no democratic legitimacy or effort to build something serious. Destiny, if you take a single day off, do you really take a hit in revenue, or does it make up for it on the day after? You'll take a small hit, like on donos for that day. But if you're a big streamer, Mike's got, what, 4,000 subs? He'll be okay. Subs are passive income. He'll be fine. Those demands are absolute garbage. I don't even agree with 2. Why the hell would I want it to be hard for new users I bring to the site to participate in my community? Oh, this is him advocating against the hate raid stuff? Fuck that, it's bad for the website and therefore bad for me. Sites need to have low barriers to entry. Use the moderation tools. I've actually been getting hate raided for years and botted. Wow, oh no, Mike, definitely get those big hate raids. He doesn't know about like all the chats of like the bots coming in and spamming the N-word and shit, huh? There are definitely some engineering solutions, but I don't agree with their approach at all. We got hate raided this week. It was a 10-minute inconvenience. Nothing compared to when I had multiple fake DMCA claims against my channel that got me banned. No one had my back, by the way. I had 3 strikes. I was permanently banned. I had to write DMCA counterclaim letters using my legal education. By the way, here's what a DMCA counterclaim looks like in case you guys don't know. It's emailing Twitch, hey, my name is this and this. Here's my address. I had the legal rights to use that content. If they don't like it, sue me. That's all it was. There is no fancy legal letter that you have to draft. Fucking anybody can do a counterclaim. You just fill out a fucking form. And be ready for lawsuits. And guess what? I won and now have 0 strikes. Still got banned 3 separate times for 24 hours. Wow. I'm just very angry that I have to pretend that this was a serious action because I don't want marginalized people to think I am ignoring them. It was cynical movement, and I don't like the implication that I'm acting against my leftist values because someone tweeted something 2 days before I'm supposed to just comply. Fuck off. Oh my God.
Mike, why did you stream during all day off Twitch? Long stream too. I thought scabs were bad. I streamed along with pretty much everybody else who was doing political content. I have a news show. Unless we're doing actual economic action, I'm going to cover those stories the same as TYT.
Oh, actually, I want so much more. I'm sorry. I want to make a really good tweet. I just want to shit all over him. Unless we're doing actual economic action. There's 2 things I want to link here now. Wait, can somebody make me a streamable of just like this, like 20 or 30 seconds? Because there's 2 things. One, he said that charity in the past is not real action. And 2, what was the other one that I was thinking of? No, fuck. Oh, and 2 was that big thing he talked about how he wasn't going to waste his time doing mutual aid.
Seems like that might be more fruitful than having another one of these discussions that does nothing.
Okay. The reason why people organize around presidential elections is because they get tens of billions of dollars of free media. It's a unifying election that everybody in the entire country knows about, and it gives us a common language that we can reach more and more people. If you go into mutual aid stuff, that is inherently a very local action. If I go and do mutual aid shit, my audience will go from thousands of people to 50 people.
What?
Because they're going to all be in their own communities doing local actions and not doing anything that's oriented towards national politics.
Imagine missing the point of every single political movement in the history of your entire life so succinctly in one sentence. I can't even imagine a more perfect sentence to show how misaligned your priorities are if your goal is actual political power. Why would I want to do mutual aid when it would spur all of my viewers on to actually do better in all of their communities? I'd lose all of my audience. I'd have no money. Like, how perfect is this? It is the most perfect sentence I've ever seen in my life for somebody to just out themselves as being not in politics for power, but just for entertainment purposes.
What?
This is a defeating, and also, Can we be real? Who's gonna turn? Can you show me?
I think Lucius Fox or whatever is the guy, and even he realizes how fucking stupid this is.
Mutual aid streamers of people that just sit there discussing mutual aid all day.
What are you talking about? You can diversify your content. You can talk about more than just that.
Yep.
What?
Okay, guys. I mean, and my politics is a socialist politics, which means I want to exercise power for the benefit of the worker, the disenfranchised,
As long as he still makes money off of it, by the way.
the minority, the poor.
As long as they're not too poor that they can't subscribe to a stream or gift subs, right? Not too poor, okay.
I have nothing in common with Bastiat, the gas attorney.
Well, of course you don't. It's because Bastia actually passed the bar. He's an actual attorney. What would you have in common with him? Well, he's a lawyer, right? Dude, this guy's such a fraud. How do people not see this?
By the way, chat, let me just say this. Let me say one thing. I want to say one thing. For those of you who support the stream financially, I want you to know one thing. It serves a dual role. Obviously, the money goes to me, and I spend it how I see fit on myself. Occasionally, I give it to other people, you know, and do good things with it, but it's mostly just mine. But the second thing you do is you trigger the fuck out of Destiny and every one of his orbiters. They get so frustrated that I make more money on Twitch than he ever did. Even though he's been streaming longer, I make more money per month than he ever did, and Hassan makes like 20 times more than he ever made. Ever. When he was a partner. And when you lose your partnership, chat, the fees you get go up significantly.
What is he talking about?
So he's making less and he's... Oh!
I don't know if Mike knows any of the numbers for who's making what. There is a decent chance Mike probably makes, if we're being honest, Mike probably makes a little bit more money than my YouTube editor. Okay? Although I will say there is an extra layer of irony that a leftist is attacking me and trying to say that he thinks he's better than me because of the amount of money that he makes. That's a special type of irony to me. I think I keep track of everything here. I'm a job creator, okay? That's what I do. I create jobs, all right? So Destiny GG LLC has paid out this year so far about $155,000 in wages. That's what I've paid so far to people that work for me this year.
I just think it's made him really stupid. He used to be a really thoughtful and introspective person, but when it comes...
The funny thing about this, like the reason why I know he doesn't actually feel this way is because he's trying to signal to his audience that I'm an idiot. But the reality is like, well, like, no offense, but if Vaush is a mini me, right? What do you do when you see like dumb fucks online that are really loud? You want to talk to them. Because like those are the best conversations. Because if I can find some guy that's really confident in his positions, it's super loud about him online, I'm about to get a 300,000 view YouTube video roasting and grilling the fuck out of them on my stream, right? That's what you do to people. Well, I mean, like that's what we do, right? We're debate bros. I mean, Vaush is a mini me, and I started the whole. Well, I don't think I started debate bro culture, but I was a big contributor to it online. So the idea that he would like simultaneously sit there and be like, "Oh, Destiny's just I've intellectual at pace to me. He's really wrong. He's really dumb." But I can't engage with anymore. Those communities are just, it's too much. Like he's just, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, if your ideas are so great, why can't you debate me? And like this was going on for years. Like they were horrible. If you care about like harassing people, which I try not to do, you know, these people postured themselves as like the intellectual gatekeepers of the universe, dude. And now, and I'm going to be a little bit conceited here because I've debated Sargon twice and I know for a fact he got really fucking mad after the last debate that I had with him. He was feeling real good after the first one. That's probably what made him do the second one. And he was feeling real bad after that second one, okay? That's why he didn't make a video on it. I'm going to assume this is largely about me, okay? So how how fucking pathetic of you to posture as these debate lords for years, and then a couple people on the left actually start engaging in debate, and all of you back the fuck off. It's actually a really, really smart survival strategy on your part, because none of you stand a fucking chance against, not just me, anyone who has done any amount of research on any of the subjects you guys talk about. The moment you get rid of the inherent power differential that is associated with like tiny little left tubers arguing with Big Daddy Sargon or whatever, the moment you get rid of that fear and intimidation, you guys collapse like a house of cards and you run away.
I just think it's kind of funny.
The position that I have on this now is like, discussion of him is banned on Discord and Reddit, and also here in the chat, because I just don't care anymore. We spent entirely too long being concerned with the opinion that he and his community have had. Any drama farmers, any clip chimps, any drama frogs, whatever, you're all going to get banned. Not because you side with Destiny.
How long will this one last, guys?
Attention. I do not care anymore. Vaush, if you were to choose Mike from PA or Destiny, I still think Mike from PA is way more of a joke than Destiny, but I unironically think they're starting to converge. I actually do believe that. I do genuinely believe that. Also, to be fair, I don't think Mike has ever done anything as heinous as, like, passively legitimized Lauren Southern. That, like, in terms of, like, moral character...
Oh, we gotta watch his criticism of Shoe on Head later, by the way, guys.
And, like, intelligence, obviously Mike from PA is, like, digging out of a ditch. But, yeah, I don't know. Eventually... you never know. Yeah, or the Kyle Rittenhouse stuff, or the blocking all trans people on Twitter stuff, or the left and the right share equal amounts of disinformation stuff, or... yeah, all that. Seems like a lot of harm being done there. Do I still respect... oh, no, I don't respect Destiny at all. To be fair, it's not just that I dislike him. I actively think he's, like, unironically kind of a stupid, like, dumb fuck now. The kind of, like, statements that he makes about the left belie such an incredible emotional bias against them that it's compromised his ability to think clearly. It's not just... it's not that he's, like, actually, like, dumb or whatever. I'm sure he's a smart guy, of course, but his engagements with the left have revealed that he's so terminally online with regards to them that, like...
To be fair, to fight with the left, you have to be terminally online because they really only exist online.
He's just turned into, like, a centrist both sides-er, you know? And it's pretty fucking weird that you get more angry with, like, 1,000-follower trans Twitter accounts than you would with, like, the architects of white nationalism in the West.
Now, it's funny that he says that, because there's actually two big ways to push back here. One is that factually, I've spent, like, I think the reason why my career even took off was debating alt-righters. That was literally, like, my whole call to fucking fame, okay? Like, my whole, well, fame, whatever. Like, that was the thing that made me the most popular for doing online debates. Number one. Number two, let's say that was true. If we go by who is affected by what, right? I don't actually have much, like, negative fallout in my life from white nationalists, but I have a fuck ton of negative fallout in my life from, like, leftists that try to constantly get my life destroyed online. Even if I was, like, only focused on left-leaning people, would that really be that insane? Like, wouldn't that kind of be expected? Like, if I were to go to some poor person who lives in the fucking ghetto and be like, hey, what do you think about Afghanistan? And they're like, I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, oh, really? So you're more concerned with your fucking Nikes than you are about the lives of people in Afghanistan, right? Could I really get away with saying that? Or would people be like, Destiny, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Like, obviously, like, people are gonna care. It's a proximal thing. Like, what do you mean? Like, come on, let's be a little bit reasonable. But, oh, and then also, just for your viewing pleasure, because this, I noticed that, like, once you don't like me, basically you get to do, like, all of the you get to, like, bring out any attack against me you want.
Destiny and Dylan argued for about 3 hours, and there was basically nothing distinguishing Destiny's behavior from that of a common victim blamer. His arguments were bad, if eloquently delivered. He came in to discredit and attack Kat. He did so with all the standard tropes. You know, she strung him along by not being forthcoming about his harassment. She's clout sharking, you know. She actually liked him, so he got mixed signals. Yeah, he actually said it was woman tactics at one point. At one point, he actually said, if you're a victim of workplace sexual harassment, you have power over your boss. Like if your boss harasses you and you're a woman, which that is some content creator skull if I've ever heard it. But no, he said that. That's not me misascribing. Yeah. Anyway, it ended with essentially Destiny blaming Cat, saying that Cat was the manipulator. He was making conspiratorial arguments, that he was doing this in his chat too, that all of this was being orchestrated for like clout sharking, and Cat just wanted to farm attention, and that Dylan was doing this to knock off competitors. And yeah, this is textbook woman manipulation. Yeah, his arguments were like really bad. They were also largely tangential because like 2 hours of the convo were spent on whether or not Cat receiving wake-up phone calls from Prime Kai was evidence of some kind of mutual romantic interest, which is kind of tangential, right? Because the real question is, did Prime Kai behave inappropriately? But Destiny's interest seemed more to be delegitimizing Cat's concerns by insinuating that Prime Kai was perhaps justified, or at the very least felt he was justified in behaving the way that he did. Anyway, it was just standard victim blamey stuff, and even if his broader prescriptions ended up being correct, he would have still been wrong. I'll explain why really quickly, okay? So imagine, right? Imagine you're on college campus, okay? And a bike gets stolen, and you're like, oh, who stole the bike? And your neighbor gets out, and they say, it was the black guy. And you're like, you don't know that. Why do you think that? And your neighbor is like, well, the warrior gene that every black male is born with predisposes them to acts of violence, which, of course, property theft is a kind of... And like he goes on. And later, it turns out that actually it was the black guy who stole the bike. Does that affirm all the arguments that guy made? No, of course it doesn't. So yeah, no. Whether or not Destiny's community sides with him in that regard will largely come down to whether or not they appreciate good arguments or the aesthetic of good arguments. So that's the acknowledgement I know everyone wanted to see. It's out of the way. I'm going to spend the rest of the time just talking about all of the information regarding Prime Kai. Okay? I know chat's siding with him. I know what his community's like. Trust me. So anyway, let's talk about the actual info at hand and waste no more time with this spiteful contrarianism.
Destiny and I have I would say interesting relationship, but maybe it's actually not. I think actually it's kind of like really mundane. In terms of Twitch politics, relationship that Destiny and I have had. Like if you look at our DMs, right? If that ever comes off for some fucking reason, I don't know. But if you look at our DMs, it's very boring. We don't have some sort of great friendship. We don't have we don't. It's like, I mean, we don't want to talk like that. Most of our interactions you've seen. Most of our interactions have been streamed. It's been like twice I think I've talked to this man in like private, like in like a voice call privately, right? But most of it you have all experienced with us. Destiny came out swinging. He came out fucking flinging me. He didn't just come in a bat for me. He like he came with an Abrams tank. That's what he came with. That's what Destiny did. Stephen Bonnell. Thank you. You didn't have to do that. But if he didn't do that, then I think a lot of people would not have bothered to listen to my response. Right? Where I did take responsibility for my own actions. I messed up myself. In case you didn't know that. I have a whole VOD where I talk about that. It's still up if you want to take a look. But he came out. He just wrecked house. Like I don't know what to say. Like it's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know. He didn't have to do that. You guys are a fucking millionaire. And who am I, right? Again, I'm not some, like, we don't have this great friendship behind the scenes, right? We tell each other our stories or anything, right? I like to be friends. That'd be cool. Be nice, maybe. I don't know. But like we like that's not our relationship for you, the audience, to understand. But you might not have known that if you saw the way he was defending me. You might not have known that. But he just did it anyway. So the next time you guys want to come and complain at me that Destiny had some terrible take, and what do you think? Well, actually, I'll probably agree with you, because as I told Destiny in our DMs, I privately thanked him for what he did for me, and I let him know that the next time he has a dog shit take, I'm going to call him on it. Nothing changes there. Nothing changes there. And you'll see me get like super fucking frustrated, like I usually do when Destiny's here. I'll get super goddamn frustrated with everything he's saying. And I'll like interrupt other guests. Like, no, shut up. I gotta yell at Destiny. Fuck you, Steven. I'll do that. I will do that. Promise you I'm gonna do that. But thank you, Destiny. If he had not done that, people would not have listened to my message. When there's a streamer, another streamer, who's making accusations against me, serious accusations against me, and they have a platform that is 10 times my size. I think I'm a big streamer. I'm not a big streamer. But people, I'm not a big streamer. I don't know where people got that from. I'm not. But there's another streamer is making accusations against me, 10 times my size, right? And then I go on with my channel, which is an order of magnitude smaller. How does my message get out? Most people would not hear it, and most people will not care to find it and simply draw conclusions. If it wasn't for Destiny, I don't know. So I don't know. Thank you, Destiny. Again, I've done it in private already, and he's probably not gonna watch this. It's like, I don't think he cares. I don't think he cares like that. That seems to be his personality. I don't think he. But thank you.
The other day, did you know, this is, by the way, I'm totally poisoning the well here, but did you know while debating with Lance was making the argument that like Google was still like reactionary or whatever, okay? Lance pointed out that at Google, you need to get a legal name change if you're trans for your name card to be updated. So if you're a trans lady and you've got Michael on your name card, like you need a legal name change for them to confirm the change in the thing. And Destiny, I swear to God, I actually looked, I did double check to make sure it's real. Destiny, he said, is that really a big deal?
How can you, first of all, I wonder if you watched this whole debate, how can you summarize that so incorrectly?
How someone identifies themselves on a name badge versus a security protocol to get into the building. But once you're inside the building, is it okay to be wearing a name badge, in your opinion, that says a name that you choose, not your dead name?
I would have to know specifically like the protocol of how their badges work to really like know that, because like in my corporate experience, in my environment experience at the casino, and this is all I have to go on, I could be wrong, it's probably the same as carriers, like your name badge will usually represent like areas that you can get into or not. So like the color of your badge might matter, or a symbol on the badge might matter. If that can be anything, then people just like switch badges and go wherever the fuck they want. In that case, then no, you can't. But now if these are literally just like fucking like name tags or whatever, well then yeah, I guess you should be able to put whatever name you want on it if it doesn't mean anything. But if these badges are used to like sign into area, yeah, I guess, but like my guess is going to be that.
Okay,
but,
so would you then think it was kind of hypocritical for them to not allow them to do something so simple as that, and then also use like the gay logo?
Do they use their IDs to swipe in? Do they use their IDs to swipe in for access anywhere?
I don't know.
If you don't know this, then why are you? Wait, hold on. If you don't know this, why are you talking about this at all? You have no idea what you're talking about. Then you understand that, right?
What do you mean?
You have no idea what you're, because if they do use these to swipe in for things, and if these badges are like unique and important, then you would agree then that they probably should have their like state names on them.
I don't know anything about their security protocol badges. I'm talking about name tags. Like,
okay, but do they use
the emails? That's what the email sent.
But do they use their name? Because some people have, it's all built in. Like they'll have chips on their like name badges and shit, and they use that to swipe in to places. I don't know if people in my chat are just trying to argue or not, because I can't tell, but a lot of people in my chat, and I don't know, and I don't trust them, because I know a lot of them don't like you, and so they'll say dumb shit, but there are a lot of people in my chat saying that you use your badge for entry into different areas and shit. I know I got people that work at Google, I don't know if they, but like, if that is the case, then, I mean, yeah, it makes sense that they would have to have the name on their state ID or whatever federal ID that they're recognized as is going to have to be on that badge if it's used for access to. Otherwise, you could just start giving your badges to people and shit, and people could get into anywhere, right? This is how, like, and it wouldn't surprise me if this is like standard protocol at like all like major tech companies, like.
Yeah, and in which case I would agree with you if that was the case.
Okay, but then do you understand that you just staked out a huge position shitting on Google because of one issue that you don't know anything about? This is why I call you spineless.
Right now. This is not spineless. That would be ignorant. There's a huge difference. Spineless would be me being like, well, I'm just going to back up this position until the end of time, and I'm never going to.
No, but here's what you're doing. You stake out a position on this issue because it suits your ideology and it aligns you well with your ideological side, and you get all the social credit from your. I'm describing exactly what's happening. Yeah. Now I want to read more about this. After arriving on site and being issued the badge with my dead name, I noticed that there were many people on site, both cis and transgender, whose badges did not reflect their legal names. I don't even know. And this was a subcontractor, I guess, with G4S. Oh, it was a security subcontracting firm, G4S. Okay. So he actually worked for security too, but Jesus, so it wasn't even Google itself. It was a subcontractor. Okay, okay, sorry. What's the, it's actually a security officer. Holy shit. My assertion was that if they were ID badges that were used for like secure rooms or secure access, it would make sense that they would need to match like a state ID in order for them to be valid. That you can't just change your name to whatever you want it to be. It's going to have to match some sort of state ID. Also, it wasn't Google. It was a contractor for Google, and it was for people working in security. They were, yeah, this person was literally a security firm subcontracted by Google. But like, okay. Man, what a horrible summary of that conversation. You get to like bring out any attack against me you want. It's really funny that Vaush calls me transphobic when Vaush literally like gets so much shit for being transphobic. Like, and it's funny because Vaush has said more intense shit than me when it comes to dealing with online trans people. I tweeted out and I said, hey, I block out all trans people on Twitter. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I think the conversation's toxic. That's what I said. I tweeted it. Yeah, fuck it. But
the left community online, particularly the LGBT community, is cancerous as fuck. If you're not an idiot, you will agree with me on this. If you have any fucking experience with online like LGBT or leftist discourse, you know it's cancerous as fuck. You understand this. People are hyper fragile. There's a ton of mental illness, and you can't convert these people. They're not reasonable. They have to be excised from the left, and it's because it's coming from dumb fucks who are gay. This person says they're gay as hell because it's coming from the gays. It's woke now. These people are less than human to me. I have no respect for these people. These people.
How is this person gonna call me transphobic?
Are fucking disgusting. You don't need to be a psychologist to see that a large portion of the broader fucking like woke-tard cancel culture idpo left is predicated on shared mental illness. This is particularly prominent in the trans community. If you disagree with me on this, you're wrong. I know it sounds yikesy. It happens anyway. Pretty much every time I deal with dipshits from the left that's trans girls, that I notice there's a vastly disproportionate amount of dumb fuck lefty takes in my feed coming from trans people. I don't know. Most of the time when a wildly fucking irrational lefty comes in to make bad faith arguments against me, it's a trans person. That is a fact. If all of these dumb fucks recognize that I despise them and think they're every bit as detrimental to the left as Nazis are, I am doing good. I want these people to know that they're my enemy. I fucking hate them. I really do despise them.
But they're not your enemy.
Oh, no. Yes, they are. They hurt me and they hurt you, because every time some dumb fuck trans girl on Twitter who's acting out mental illness, whining, calling people like me transphobic because I disagree with them, they're hurting the left. No, these people are ill. These people are cancer. They're subhuman. I don't care.
Question. You don't have to do that kind of shit. That doesn't help.
Yeah, I'm edgy. I don't give a fuck.
It's not just, you know that's not just being edgy.
Damn right. Yeah, it's edgy as shit.
Making a reference to the Jewish question about how like there's like a trans conspiracy or whatever, like that's not just being edgy. That's like literally calling for the death of trans.
The left community online.
Fuck you. Okay. Sellout fuck. This guy, how are you gonna call me transphobic? My tweet was way more harmless than this. Is this really relevant when he probably walks it back now? It's not his position now, but wait, you think Vaush disagrees with what he said now? I don't think so. I think Vaush largely agrees with a lot of what I say. He's just too scared to say it because he's a sellout hack fuck that's trying to constantly appease his audience so he can make more money.
You know, I really hope that this big live stream, the charity, the positivity, all of it, I hope that it encourages some people who are on the fence about me to be more open to working with me in the future. Working with me, I mean, you know, speaking amicably. That would be nice, I think.
Jesus Christ.